voice starts shaking, I'm not going to cry, but I might pee my pants. Plus, I want to give a thank you to all who have been coming to this church, and all the guests that we have today. There is absolutely nothing of this world that interests God in the slightest. However, we, humanity, man and woman, are in this world, and that seems to pique God's interest way more than it should, considering our track record. We, humanity, man and woman, often attribute the things that make up this world to what make us up. Our money, the way we spend our time, the books we read, the movies we watch, the friends we hang out with, the nice and the bad things we say. With that line of thought, we fall into what I like to think of as a Justitiea mindset. For those of you who do not know Justitiea, you might recognize her as the Roman goddess of justice, the woman with a blindfold over her eyes and a balance in her left hand and a double-edged sword symbolizing reason and justice in her right. We believe that if we do just enough, if we do just an ounce more good than bad, if we get X amount of dollars, if we get this many hours, if we have this many Christian bumper stickers on the back of our cars, we can tip the scales and come through on the eternal bliss side of things as unscathed as possible. But rather, God is the juxtaposition of Justitiea. He does not hold a sword in his right hand, but rather he holds his hand out to you, waiting for you to stop falling on our own swords that are driven deeper by our own sins, waiting for you to reach out to grasp him, waiting for you to grip onto the life he offers you. And he does not hold a scale in his hand. In fact, I can do the math for you right now. In the beginning, Adam and Eve doomed us from the life God offered us. And in the crucifixion and resurrection, Jesus saved us to have another chance at that life. There is absolutely nothing anybody in this world could do to change that kind of balance. That should be awesome to us. Yet just like some miss out on their family because they are trying so hard to provide for them, so too do some miss out on eternity because they are too worried about compiling a resume good enough. And finally, the biggest misperception in believing in a Justitiea kind of God is that he is a blind judge, not seeing any kind of precedent to decide your fate. The beautiful problem in that is that God is not blind to you who stand before him. He knows where you have been, where you are going. He knows your fears. He knows the way you reason things. In fact, he knows the girl you had a crush on in 5th grade. He knows what you had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. To finish paying for college, my parents joked the answer to all 3 of those meals will be cereal, with a delicacy of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches from time to time. Now, the fact that God knows every little detail that makes up our complex may be terrifying to some. Some do have darker pasts than others. But it should be reassuring to us all. The fact that Jesus, giver of life, Savior, the light of the world, can look into our souls, can look into the darkness of humanity, the abyss of who we have manifested ourselves. And he can believe that there is hope. That there is hope in you, in you, in you, and everybody else in this room, and everybody else outside of it. I can't write thank you notes in a timely manner, but he has faith in me that I'll do great things. Sometimes I saw people at high school and I didn't have faith that they knew what 2 times 2 was. But he has faith that they will do astounding things. People seem to have a hard time seeing why we as followers of God can have faith in something that cannot really be explained by physical means. But the thing that continually baffles me is that God has faith in the creation that continually fails him. There isn't a single person I know who would put faith in me if I fell over and over and over again and again and again. My mom would still love me, but I highly doubt she would have faith in me. So God holds no sword, but an open hand. He holds no scale, for the scales are already won for us. He is not blind, but because he sees us as we are, he yearns for us even more. But what exactly is God yearning for? What does he want with me? What does he want for you? What does he want from us? Well, let me tell you what he doesn't want. God does not want the best of your money. He does not desire the best of your intelligence. He does not pursue passionately your time, your possessions, your assets, your looks. I'll pause here for a second. Speaking of looks, let's just say I got my dazzling good looks from my mama. Dad, thanks for the Y chromosome. I'll keep going. There is nothing that has value in this world that has value to God except one thing. Not what is yours, but you. The only thing that your Father can ask that's yours, and it's not really yours, it was given to you, is your life. How many people have given their money, have dedicated their time, have great understanding of His Word, but have not turned over the keys of their life? For those who give their life shall keep it, but those who hold on to it shall lose it. Some of y'all might be sitting, in fact, I'm sure every time you hear this kind of sermon, will be sitting there and wondering, how can you stand up there and say, give up your life, like it's so easy to just hand over my life? I have a job. In fact, I have deadlines to meet this week. I have a family that's always requiring something from me. And I'd like to have a little bit of time with my friends. I mean, I'm doing the best I can here. Is it really so bad that I'm trying to balance God in with life as it is? I mean, I'm including Him, right? Friends, I tell you this. If you are trying to somehow come up with a magical amount of how little is enough, trying to tiptoe through life, if you are trying to just balance God in life instead of building everything off of Him, I can guarantee you, you will be considered lukewarm and spit out of the mouth of God. If your relationship with Christ isn't in the slightest way an inconvenience to your lifestyle, you're not pursuing Him with all your heart. Unless I guess you're going to be a pastor, which, in case I guess that's required in your lifestyle. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that life is easy. By no means and in no way is it easy for anybody. But I can stand here with full confidence and say that when you give everything, your job, your relationships, your successes, your failures, your doubts, your past and your future, you will have peace. And with peace, the chaos of life cannot stand a chance. So how do you begin to truly give your life? How do you give over the keys to something that you're not sure the driver fully understands? Well, first let me tell you, it isn't the big things. In fact, if I go through this room and I ask anybody who is in a marriage, has been in a marriage, or translate marriage into a serious relationship, and I ask them, what's the thing that makes it so special? What keeps you in that marriage? I can guarantee you nobody would say it's the big things. It's not coming home and, honey, I got you a new car. It's coming home to a person who understands the littlest details about your complex. It's somebody who can look at you and you don't even have to say a word and they understand right then and there what's wrong. It's the small things. It's going day in and day out doing those small things. It is a decision and a commitment that requires you to be active every day. If you are being passive, only wishing and hoping, then you are not actively pursuing eternity. Every decision is a decision for life and death. Contrary to the prevailing thought of many today, there is no gray area in decisions. God doesn't just say, oh, well, I'll give him that. Oh, well, I can understand why he would do that. Your choices on how you handle life do not only affect what you do, but who you become. When you become the right person, you will do the right things. The choices we make are the roads we take. If you're having doubts, consciously give them over to God. If you are worried about a decision, pray for guidance and then make a firm decision. Read your Bible daily. I would say read a chapter a day unless you feel stressed, worried, or uneasy about something. Then I would advise reading at least 3. For some, that's a big step, but life is a journey, and it's all about taking steps. It's about going left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. There is a start and there is an end, where we are and where we are going. Are you going to be one of those people who thinks, wow, I've come a long way? Or, wow, I could have come so much farther. Being dedicated and disciplined in the little things, for all of you who were, are, or aspire to be athletes, should sound really familiar. You often do not see results right off the bat. It is the same as our passage today. Fruit is not grown instantaneously. It's a process to grow in the Spirit, just as it is to grow great grapes. The vine dresser takes bugs and diseases found in his vineyard and cleanses them, prunes them to fulfill what they are made for. But those grapes he deems unfruitful, those who could not further the vineyard's crop of healthy, whole fruit, he casts away. So if you feel like you're not where you are meant to be, or even if you don't know who you are meant to be yet, do not be afraid, but have faith. The vine dresser is pruning you. Do not break from the vine, but abide in Jesus and his teachings. When we give God our best every day, he takes that and makes us so much more than we could ever hope to be by ourselves. Grapes alone are pretty great, but when matured and cultivated into wine, the effects and value are much greater. You will grow. Yes, even those who believe to be grown, you will grow. You will be great. And when the world tells you you are nobody, smile. For God almost always seems to call the nobodies to become somebodies and change everybody. He is not interested in the best of this world, but he is deeply invested in the best you have to offer with the life you offer. Thanks be to God.
Amen.